So I got my mechanical mod right here. It's basically what carries the tube for the battery. The battery's inside, it's an industrial battery. It's that green battery. This is my atomizer. This is what's going to hold my coils. The wire that carries the electrical current. So right now I'm going to take my wire and I'm going to start building. This is a 22 gauge wire. It's very low resistance. And I'm going to wrap it around a 5/64 drill bit or a 2mm equivalent. I'm going to do 5 wraps. There's my 5 wraps. Take some off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to thread it through my positive and my negative post. The positive is the center where the copper is. I'm going to go and do that. Thread it through. I'm going to make sure it's not touching the deck or the post. Otherwise it can cause a short and your numbers will not be accurate when you measure it for safety. There's my 5 wraps. I'm just going to do a dual coil. So there's 2 coils, 1 on each side. I'm going to do the same number. If you do different numbers, you're going to get a weird reading, and that's not good. It's 5 wraps. Push it together. I'm going to clip it, one longer than the other, so it makes it easier to thread. I'm going to move these to the side. It's going to be a little careful. Thread it through. This one's a little tough, so there we go. Now I just got to make sure that the wires aren't touching, the coils aren't touching the deck or anything else. Kind of just want to be floating. So I'm going to crimp these down, complete the connection. Before I clip it, I'm going to measure it really quick. I'm going to put it on the ohm reader, make sure it's safe to vape. If not, I got to redo it all over. Does not hurt to be safe at all. It's a 0.1. It's a little bit lower than normal, but it's okay. The battery that I'm using is a Sony VTC5, so it's very safe. It can handle it. So right now I'm going to clip these leads. So I'm going to make room for some of the organic cotton that I'm going to thread through. You kind of want these away from your face because they will fly. Perfect. So right now I'm going to check to make sure that they're glowing from the inside out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift these up a little bit. There we go. You see how they're floating? They're not touching the deck. They're not touching the post. That'll make sure that it has no shorts. And now I'm going to test fire it. I'm going to make sure that they're glowing from the inside out. So I'm going to crimp it. Make these coils nice and close. This one's a little off, so I'm just going to crimp it some more. There we go. Crimp this one a little bit more. Now they're glowing even and from the inside out. Wow, that's hot. All right. I'm gonna put my safety on because I want to make sure when I put this down it doesn't fire while I'm putting the organic cotton inside. I'm gonna take my organic cotton, hydrogen peroxide free, all those nasty chemicals, get them out. Nah, bad cotton. Bad roll, bad roll. All right, there we go. There's a little bit too much. I'm gonna cut it in half. Take this one. Now. Thread it through.
Oh, we ran out of that.
Make sure it's nice and stuffed.
Flavor.
Thread it through. There we go. Now I'm just going to cut the excess off. You don't need this much. The less wick you have, the more vapor production you're going to get. Basically, the vapor has to escape from somewhere. And if you put too much cotton, you're choking it up, and it's just not going to go anywhere. It's just going to get trapped. All right. Right now, I'm just going to put my juice on there. Nice and soaked.
Yeah, I'm not, did I say fuck? It's all about the noodle. It's a very different kind of noodle.
Right now I'm just checking for hot spots. Juice is Freemason's Treasury. It's a tangerine flavor, very low nicotine. When you go into mechanical mods, you want the lowest. It produces so much vapor production and there's so much nicotine coming at you. It hurts your throat. It's just too much. It's different from like those Ego pens or the tanks, anything like that. This is a very powerful device. This is basically, you custom make it to what you want it to be.